wanted my side of the story to be told in depth. This is 8 years after the initial incident, and I believe I have a different perspective now. I'm not a monster. I'm an individual who made a mistake that affected a lot of lives. I had a very troubling childhood because I always wanted love, and I wanted love from my parents, and when I wasn't able to get that, I looked for it in any place that I could. I was diagnosed when I was 4 years old with ADHD, and growing up throughout my life, I was diagnosed with ODD, ADHD, bipolar, anxiety, depression. 14, that's when I got into the actual system and was placed into group homes, and it was traumatic, to be honest with you, because it was like the realization that I was never going to live with my parents, like they were never going to change, and it was me having to get a reality check early on in life. My first impressions of Lisa and Kevin were that they were loving, they were caring, that they were into doing foster care for the betterment of the child. We started off as friends, and then we moved into sisters. We'd do each other's hair, we'd get dressed, and we'd take pictures. We all connected. Me and Lisa's relationship was good at first, and me and Kevin had a very close relationship. I could be open with him, and it was a very easy relationship. In the beginning, I felt like I finally had a family, one that I could go to school, come home, get help with homework, and have dinner on the table, and just have a family, like that bond that I've never had and I never knew existed. It was everything that I've ever wanted. I was doing 2 grades at once at high school. They had gotten me there with the structure that they provided, and to uproot and be by myself and alone, and that was a big risk that I was taking. I didn't realize I came out calm. That was a part where I guess I was not mentally there. I was in and out the whole time. I can only imagine what she went through. At the time, I didn't register it. I couldn't. I was blacking in and out. I wasn't coherent for everything. I have a lot of regret and sorrow because I can only imagine what she went through. And she shouldn't have had to go through that. Nobody did. This situation. It hit when I started crying. I didn't grasp what happened. And when I did, I just couldn't do anything. Cry. We're the picture perfect family on the outside. On the inside, it was completely different. There wasn't attention provided for all the children. It was always focused. I didn't see it as fair. And they got so much more freedom than I did. I felt like I wasn't really a part of the family. Definitely put a gap in between me and Lisa because of the abandonment that I had to deal with, because of the rejection I've dealt with. And so even if it's not intentional, I picked up on what I perceived as closing me out. It wasn't what I always hoped for. It wasn't the dream family that I've always wanted, that mother-daughter relationship. I told Kevin that I was feeling like an outsider, that I don't believe she treated me the same way. I didn't necessarily have to hide anything, and I could be real, and so it made it easy to talk to him. He was open, and he was my friend and my father. Kevin was there to catch me because he never judged me, and he always made me feel wanted, and he was always everything that I needed. Lisa stormed out and said, "If you think you're going to turn my husband against me, you have another thing coming." And I started crying, and because I knew from there that was the beginning of the end. But I'm not gonna say that she's the villain in this story. I'm not gonna say that.
Sabrina admits to.
If you want love, if you want to feel that, you're not just a throwaway. You're gonna do anything to get it, right? With massage, I wanted to be a massotherapist. I wanted to help people all my life, and so he said you can practice on me, and it started on the legs. because he was a truck driver and, had cramps in his legs. And it gradually went to more, from father-daughter to significant others. Me and Kevin ended up being in a sexual relationship. I realized today that it was unhealthy, that I should have never entered into that relationship. I also know that I was in a very delicate state because of everything that I've lacked growing up. He told me that he really didn't want to be married to her anymore, that he was not in love with her anymore, and that he just is in the marriage because of the children. He said, I want her gone. And I said, why not just divorce her? And he said, because I can't do it. The girls would end up going to her. It was about the promises that he made, and that I was going to have a life that I wanted to live, a future that I never thought I could have. He started breaking down crying. He said that I can't do this anymore. I'm going to kill myself if she's not gone. And he said, you could stab her. I was in love with this man, what I thought was love, and so I was going to do anything for the man that I loved. That's when the planning started, and he picked out the knife. He told me how to do it, what position, if she was sleeping, to go and stab her, and to make it look like a burglary, to knock everything down and take all her jewelry. My heart was coming out of my chest. I could see it through my clothing. Like, I was going to do it, and then I was like, no, you can't do it. Do it, don't do it. It was a constant fight. And when she woke up, I had no choice. She called out, "Stop." She was on top of me at one time. She had a knife at one time. She fought for her life. When Megan made the 911 call, that's when I knew that this wasn't going to be how he told me it was going to, that the plan fell apart. Megan put her hand on me, I remember that. And she said, "Stop," and I just shrugged her off. I didn't know Haley was in the closet. When I found out, I broke down and cried. Throw away. You're going to do anything to get it. Just kept on thinking that everything is going to be okay, like he said. That no matter what, he's going to be there for you. He just needed me to do his dirty work. And worth more dead than alive. He said she's worth more dead than alive. And he brought out two policies, one for $500,000, one for $250,000. And I said, oh, that's what you mean. It was like that devil angel on your shoulders. And I said, if I want this love, then I have to do this, because he's going to kill himself if not. And I wasn't going to risk losing him. What we were discussing in the text messages was what I should wear. If she had gone to sleep, I was giving him a play-by-play. When did she lay Haley down to rest? If Megan went to sleep, I'm about to do it. I love you. I'll see you soon. I didn't want Lisa dead. I did it because he told me that he was going to kill himself. Why didn't I stop? Because I was convinced that I was going to lose everything that I've ever dreamed of if this didn't happen. I realized today that it was a plan, and that he wanted me to get caught, and he wanted to live the life that he couldn't live without. But no matter what I say, I can't bring her back. The judge told me that if it weren't for my testimony, that Kevin would have not been convicted. I just pray that whatever help he needs, he gets. Because I know I'm broken, but he's got to be broken as well.
Sabrina pled guilty to murder and was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 30 years.
I believe that the responsibility for this crime is divided between two people, and that's me and Kevin. I committed the crime, and I won't never deflect from that, because I did it and I was wrong. I believe that I should do time, because I know they deserve justice, and the only justice they can get is me behind bars. And I realize that there's more than one victim in this story. If it means anything, I truly do apologize. If I had a chance, I would tell them that I was selfish, and that I'm sorry, and that I never meant to hurt them. And I know, how can I say that when I killed their mother? I was in a place that I wasn't thinking about anybody but myself, and that was wrong, and it doesn't make it right. I know no matter what I say, I can't bring her back, and I can't undo what's already been done and what they've sown. Am I remorseful? Absolutely. If I could go back, I would have left the home. I would have I would have told Lisa what Kevin was doing. Anybody that has learned from their mistakes, I want a chance to do right. I want a chance to live a life. And I'm not saying that I deserve it, but I'm saying everybody should get a second chance. I've changed and I've worked on myself. So I believe one day, hopefully,